Now, my first guest this week comes to us via satellite from Melbourne, Florida. Chris Romandetti is the CEO of Medical Billing Assistance Incorporated, stock symbols MDBL. Chris, glad to have you on the program. Now, Medical Billing Assistance describes itself as a company entering the $100 billion medical imaging industry. Can you give us a general overview of the company, please?
Well, thank you, Don. Appreciate you having us on the show today. Medical Billing Assistance is known as MDBL. It's a company that's been in the medical billing business for over 25 years. Most recently, we have done a share exchange, which has enabled us to increase our balance sheet by over $5 million in fixed assets. We're now aligning ourselves in the medical field to go after the medical imaging business. That business is over $100 billion and growing, and we think we're going to strategically place ourselves to take advantage of it.
Well, you know, Chris, you're absolutely right. Your industry market is expected to grow meteorically in the short term. Now, what are the major factors that's contributing to that?
Well, Don, there's a few factors, but some of the top ones right now are definitely the baby boomers. There's quite a few of them out there right now that are increasing in age. We actually have an aging population overall. Life expectancy increasing by the day. Combine that all with the passing health care bill right now, 30 million more Americans are going to have access to health care. MDBL, we feel we are positioned properly to take advantage of this opportunity.
Now, part of your business plan is to expand MRI centers into rural communities using cost-effective imaging and diagnostic services. What are the advantages, Chris, to rural area expansion?
We believe that the rural communities will be a major part in playing a role in our company's strategic plan. And that is because typically in these communities there's only one, possibly two MRI centers. Thus, without the competition, keeps the value of this extremely high. They reimburse at a significantly higher rate, and that if we come in with our cost-effective equipment, the void is there, the people are there, and if we can bring access to the people, to the patients, closer to their home, where they can have more convenience with us, we think we'll be able to take advantage of that.
Now, this growth plan, is this going to be organic, by acquisition, or maybe even a combination of both?
Well, yes, Don, without a doubt, we will be taking advantage of both. Clearly, the organic growth here will be into communities where the void is there, there is absolutely no equipment, and we're going to come in there, put our equipment in, take advantage of the marketplace in these communities. On the other hand, we have every day customers calling us up, doctors that no longer want to be in this business world, in this hectic world that we're in. They don't want to do the compliance, they don't want to keep up with all the certifications, they don't want to do the billing, they don't want to do the collections. This is a natural place for us. This is the part of the business we do very well, all business. Doctors want to remain doctors, we want to do the business part. So, we have facilities calling us, we think we'll do quite a bit in acquisitions, where we'll be able to turn around, come into a facility, look at the amount of scan volume, put our cost-effective model in, update their equipment, and clearly take advantage of the marketplace in these communities.
The company is Medical Billing Assistance Incorporated, MDBL. Chris, what level of capital requirements has the company identified to implement your plan, and how are you going to go about raising that?
Don, our initial plan requires us to get $5 to $7 million of capital. We're proud to say today that we have executed an investment agreement with Kodiak Capital for $7 million, which will let us implement part one of our business plan.
I was intrigued, mentioning the business plan, I was intrigued reading that about something called open-air MRI systems. Tell us what that is.
Well, Don, there's distinctly two different type MRI pieces of equipment. One is the open-air machines and one is the closed. First, we'll talk a little bit more about the conventional closed machines. This is the one that you typically, most people use, and they're the closed cylinder type where you go into it. It's a tube, it's a close feeling. They give you a panic button when you go in so that when you're laying down, if all of a sudden you're feeling claustrophobic, you would hit the button and then the study would stop and you would turn around and try to either take a Valium, reapproach the scan from a different time element and calm yourself down. MDBL has turned around and would really like to stay primarily in the open air machines. The open air machine is one in which has hardly any sides to it. It's an open feeling, much more daylight to it. The noise level in the machine is 90% less than the closed machine, and it gives it more of a calming. And we have found clearly by talking to the radiologists that a study and the success of getting a good MRI all relies on the patient feeling calm and relaxed. With the open machine compared to this closed, confined area that you have to go in, we can take patients of obesity where they don't fit in the tube. We take kids all the time where they turn around and are scared and they just don't want to be in it. We put books on tape on, we put soothing music in the room, we calm the entire situation down, you're laying down and you're not feeling like you have to go through a tube to get your study done. And that in itself ends up being a great study. When you have a great study, the patient's happy, and our referral base is off the wall as far as people like using the open air machines over the old conventional ones.
Well, Chris, I certainly agree with you on that point because I've had many MRIs myself, and I certainly would prefer an open air situation versus that tube that they stick you into. Now, can most MRI scans be performed by the open air system?
Well, Don, there's about 30 million plus scans per year being currently done in the United States, and the open air machines are capable of doing in excess of 50%. There's been some numbers saying we can do almost 60 or 65, but without a doubt, there's an access to our market for MDBL to at least achieve going after 15 million scans. Clearly, that's a large number, so we will definitely go after the ones that we feel we can do and exceed people's expectations by providing this service.
Now, Chris, you mentioned this a moment ago, but of course, healthcare is the #1 topic in Washington right now. How are the new regulations and government intervention going to affect your business model, if at all?
Well, Don, our business plan was well established before the healthcare bill did get passed. This healthcare bill will allow in excess of 30 million more Americans to have access to healthcare. That will give MDBL the opportunity to capture those additional scans. If it does get repealed right now, like I had said earlier, our plan was established before this additional population and people that need health care would have access. So we have absolutely no problem standing on our business plan where we were, with or without the health care bill. Naturally, if it stays in place, it'll be an added benefit.
Once again, Medical Billing Assistance Incorporated, MDBL. Chris, why is this a good time right now for folks to take a closer look at your company?
Don, when is it ever a good time to invest in a company? After it's halfway through its cycle? Here at MDBL, we're giving your listeners, our shareholders, the opportunity to watch what we're going to do is implement our new business model going into the MRI industry. This here will enable everybody to be in on the ground level, have the opportunity that everybody should share, and watch us as our company has an opportunity to grow.
Well, Chris, we're initiating coverage of the company this week. We're obviously going to be watching you very closely over the next several months. Looking forward for more updates from you during that period of time. Thanks so much for joining us on the program.
Well, Don, thank you also for having us on the show. It's our opinion that once your viewers have an opportunity to follow our company, combined with our additional detailed information that'll be forthcoming to you, the viewers, and our shareholders, they'll be able to rapidly recognize the value that MDBL has and will continue to create for all our shareholders. Thank you again for having us and for your viewers.